I see. So since it's been 15 minutes that I'm trying to do this, and people keep tapping in. I just want to let you guys know that the only reason why I haven't been going live is due to the cyber stalker hackers that are blocking, cock blocking, talk blocking, hater rating, all of it. Um, so anyways, welcome back to all of my beautiful creative creatures, to all of my lovely beings out there. Um, so anyways, welcome back. Oh wow, we have like a 45-second delay. So, and two people that are monitoring. So let's send to all of our monitoring spirits. Let's make them go blind, deaf, dumb, and insane. May they incinerate upon tapping into our channel or my gaze. So mote it be. Let's call in a beautiful prayer or protection spell. Dear universe, source, creator, spirit guides, angels, ancient deities, ancestors, archangels. Let's call in Archangel Michael. Let's call in, oh, let's call in Anubis, Isis. Let's call in the Mantis. Let's call in Abraxas. Okay, Abraxas, all right. Let's call in all of the heavy hitters. Let's call in all of the archangels, all of those that are crusading, whether they are from the aboves or the belows. We appreciate your protection. We thank thee for your guidance, for your protection, for your clear and concise and precise messages. We thank thee for your guidance. And we thank thee for eliminating any of the haters, any of the monitoring spirits, the handlers, the haters, any cyber stalkers, any talk blockers, anybody out there that is going against the goddess's will, the God's will, the divine order of things. May you have horrible lives that you deserve. So mote it be. Anybody that is trying to block, that is trying to monitor, that is trying to wish us any type of bad energies or bring any type of bad energies here, any type of darkness, black magic, anything that we don't entertain, may you return to sender 10 to 100-fold back to the source of where it came from. We do not need to transmute your trash energy. And to anybody that so mote it be, and to anybody that has my name, the collective's name, or any of our earth angels that are out there, my star seeds, my light warriors, my high vibrational beings, any of our positive people that are out there doing the divine mission, following their divine mission and guidance. May you grant them protection, and may any type of bad energy or anything said about us, against us, or to attack us, may you transmute that back 100-fold to us in the form of health, wealth, abundance, and love. So mote it be. So, guys, in case you didn't notice, because I noticed, the last time that I did a feed, I know that these cyber hackers, hello, welcome. Um, we're doing some weird stuff. And how do I know? Because I talked to like 7 to 10 of my local people that subscribers that come on. I want to tell you guys. Let me make sure you can hear me because I reset the Bluetooth. I want to tell you. Okay. So I had a really lovely trip, a little lovely trip into town with my little kitty, and we had such a nice time. We made some new friends, and I just want to give a shout out to some of the new friends that I made. Um, I can't pronounce your names. I don't want to hack your names, but I met two nice gentlemen from Pakistan, and another one from Afghanistan. And anyways, we had some really in-depth hello from South Korea. Ciao. We had some really in-depth conversation about so they are Muslim, right? And so they want to understand, right? And I really love people, and just like as I was sitting having these conversations with them, they also really love people that are interested in learning, right? Because they're like, why do you say this? Why is it that? What is this? And as we were sitting there, I was explaining to them the difference of the Hindu that's in Bali versus like what's in India. Now, of course, I don't really know because I haven't yet been to India myself personally. But from what I have read and researched and understood and channeled, um, different things, different information comes through. And so, anyways, I was asking them, and they were like, "Listen, we're happy to share. We're happy to give you information." And we had like really nice, nice times talking, and I was giving them cool recommendations, and they were like, wow, yeah, it's super interesting, right? Because I think what a lot of people realize is even though let's say the rulers or the governments or whatever, the systems that are in play, even maybe like religious um, institutions, constitutions, whatever, that are in play, sometimes are creating like bigger fights, bigger separation between, right? And it's really just that simple, right? Is the separation, the fear, and all of this stuff. Instead of people trying to understand, it's automatically, that each other is against each other because the lack of comprehension. And so when, you know, basically we're like, oh, okay, cool. Yeah. Oh, all right, cool. Like you do this and you do that. And the beautiful thing is basically that it's just separation. That's how they keep us in control. And everybody should have their own capacity to have their freedom of religion, their freedom of worship, whatever that is, right? Whatever it is. I mean, as long as it's as long as it's not like dark, and as long as it doesn't include hurting or killing or attacking other people, then it should be okay, right? Anyways, we were getting into a lot of information, and um, I'll share with you guys some of the stuff that I learned that was really prominent for me. But one of the biggest things that we basically had a good little laugh over, was the fact of we can we can tap in to information, to scriptural, to text, and things like this, right? If it is translated correctly, right? We believe it to be the word of God as far as it is translated correctly. However, when things were translated, the initial transfer maybe wasn't translated correctly. And this was something that we could agree upon, was that somewhere along the line, man, right? Men or religion or whoever were at opposition with each other were making minor adjustments here and there to suit their own needs, their own wants, their own jurisdictions, which is basically where a lot of the separation came in. And if we want to really go back, right? Now I'm not going to get too biblical on you guys, but um, or too religious on you guys, but I just want to share because I think it's really important. Like I love people that are willing to understand different points of view, different religions, different information, right? Because there's a lot of different information, and sometimes we just say that this is what it is, whether it's spiritual, religious, spiritual, whether it's political, right? And we just get on board because that's what we were born under, right? It's how we were brought up, it's how we were raised, or what we were taught, or the side that we were, um, maybe many of us forced, depending on where we come from in the world, to get on board with. And whether we really understand the depth of it or not is a whole nother thing. Now, something that we can all agree upon is that a lot of the old biblical, a lot of the old scripture or text maybe wasn't, cannot be translated. So if you you know, for me, I've lived out of my country for almost 8 years, right? And because I lived out of my country for almost 8 years, I've met people from all over the world. I've also traveled to many different countries around the world. And in this, I have learned that most of the time, 98% of the time, there's not a way to translate word for word from one language to another, no matter what, even if it's the same, even if they're same like Latin based languages or this or whatever, right? They, there's just not, because what is coming in one language cannot properly be translated word for word or received the same in another language. And so I believe that this is a lot of the weight or the problem of the world that is existing, right? And this is the guys are basically showing me the Tower of Babel, right? This is like something that happened when it was ego that was trying to some men that were trying to be above other men, that they were trying to, we're going to reach God first, or we're going to do this, and this is ego. This is a very egotistical way of thinking, that one is better than the other, when we're all equals, right? We're all humans, we're all spiritual beings having this human experience, right? And how we connect with divinity, right? That's why I call my channel Divinity Within Thee. How we connect directly with divinity is our own personal experience, right? It's not about having someone that's coming in between. And I think that's where a lot of patriarchal ways and a lot of religious ways kind of got in between, right? Is by doing that, is by creating some type of middleman that told us how we have to believe, how we connect to the divine, right? Whether you call it God or Jah or Allah or, spirit or the goddess or whatever, it doesn't matter, right? However, however you connect, right? Universe, source, creator, right? Divinity, right? The point is the kingdom of heaven is within. And I had this really interesting, I made this post today. Um, I made this post today, and it was with what haters, haters, haters. We don't deal with insulting. We don't attack people here in my channel. Um so anyways, when I posted this parliament, right? This song talks about getting free, right? If you want to get free, then the kingdom of heaven is within, right? The kingdom of heaven is within. And so this is why basically I name my channel Divinity Within Thee, right? Because it's where we take time to get in touch with the divine, right? It's about our own haters can hate. That's all they can do, right? All they It's okay. You're cursing your bloodline. You're cursing your bloodline while I'm freeing mine. So that's your choice. Free will. That's why we have this incarnation. That's why we incarnated here, right? Is to experience free will. If you want to curse your bloodline, you go for it. That's your choice. I am freeing mine from the curses. Okay, you want to add on curses to your bloodline instead of healing them? Your choice. That's free will. So, anyways, I had another Muslim friend years ago basically tell me that each person will experience their own connection to God, that nobody, like everybody's own connection, right, is their own. It's only about each person's direct connection, right? The religion, it's to help people that need something to follow. It's to help from keeping people become astray. And so something that they told me, as I was explaining to them, that in the translation, in Hebrew, right, the translation of the side was the same as rib. And they said, oh wow, that's crazy, right? Because the way that we're taught it is not that woman is coming from a man's rib, but is like a rib, right? And how they were describing it is that the rib bone is one of the strongest bones, right? That it's strong. And if you have to really, really go hard to break it, right? But that it's also, right, your ribs are also like the cage to your heart. And so the way that they were explaining it to me, and this is the first time I really heard, respectfully, this is the first time I really heard Muslim men showing or giving women this higher level of respect, that they were strong, that they were one of the strongest, right? That they were coming, that they were something that was kind of unbreakable, right? And that they were protecting, right? And that they were to be protected. And so I thought, wow, this is so interesting, right? Like how just the same thing can almost mean, right? The translation can almost mean something nearly identical, but just slightly different, right? And I thought, wow. And we had a little giggle, and I was like, wow, that's really interesting, because the thing is most religions are actually they're very similar to each other, right? It's just whoever decided to make the translation in whatever language, and that Tower of Babel came into play, right? Is when there's too much ego, right? God eliminated it, right? He brought lightning, like in the tarot, right? The tower, where the lightning strikes the tower and the tower crumbles down and everything has to be rebuilt. That's basically essentially what happened in so many words, right? And when that happened, there was a large amount of language. Everybody's language got discombobulated to where people could no longer understand what they were all saying. And so it did it because it was like people got um people got like too much. Excuse me, if you're here to talk rudely, you can fuck off. Okay, get the fuck out of my space. I'm not here to undress for you. Go to some fucking sick fuck place. This is not the place. Fuck off. Bye. So anyways, um if you're new here, I'm a psychic medium and a channel. I'm not here for whatever you think that I'm here for. I'm not here for your fucking entertainment. That's for fucking sure. You're at the wrong motherfucking channel. And whoever listed me as something other than that, whatever Russian, Ukrainian, whatever sick fucks are doing that, your entire family and everyone you know will have a horrible death very quickly. You will be very sick. So mote it be. And your devices will have viruses. They will fry. They will catch and smoke in your hands. So mote it be. How dare you attack what is divine? So, anyways, it's like when the Tower of Babel, right? That this lightning struck, right? So we're going to use the angel deck today. And when this lightning struck, I think it was I think in here they call it as not Ezekiel, Azariel. Um Ciao, GOC. Um, Let me see. In here, the tower. Baracchio, the lightning of God, right? And so this is basically, it's the same idea, right, as when the divine struck down, right? They struck the tower because there was too much ego. And that's essentially like a bit what's happening now, right? Is people are using their country, using their religion, using God or whatever. Um, Ciao, welcome. Using this energy, and in that process, they're trying to say that it is God's work, And what I thought was really interesting is we were like, wow, okay, like, okay, it's everybody should have their own way to learn their own things, right? Look at this. The first card that comes out, you guys. Abaddon, the angel of death. My dude. May you reap what you sow. And to anyone out there that's been trying to harvest divine energies or hop on as entities or attack or anything like this, heed my warning, because this being the first card that comes out of the angel deck, I don't know about y'all, but not looking good for you. Um, so the reality is we have to understand that a lot of these people that are waging wars are doing it at the expense of us, while getting us to create separation, to create hate, to basically cause all these problems between each other. Because when they keep us in fear, when they keep us in survival, when they keep us in separation, when they keep us in hate, when they keep us in all of these things, right? This is how far back it goes to Adam Mal, right? The fool who obtained knowledge. They keep us from actually being able to understand the knowledge, to be able to gain the knowledge, to be able to learn, right? And that's what the guys are like, wow, it's really interesting, you know? It's really interesting because you really like to learn, and you know about this, and you know about this religion, and you know about that, and you know about this, and you're not just, because they asked me, and we had this whole thing. And what I found really interesting was, um, you know, they thought that Western religion was, you know, we could both agree, or we could all agree that it was interesting that Western religion had made Yeshua, right, Jesus, as God, right, as this unholy, this thing, when he was a man. And so something that we did come upon is they were explaining to me, like, no, we see him the same as Muhammad. We see him as a prophet. He was a prophet, right? And as we got deeper and deeper into it, they're like, well, why do you do this? Like, where are you getting the information? Blah, 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 blah. And I started to express to them, and I was like, listen, it's just like, if I don't convey the information, if I don't do it, then it can be detrimental for me. And so they're like, wow. They're like, they thought it was so interesting, because they're like, interesting because for many people, for one, they don't really know about maybe messengers. I just explained to them I'm a messenger, and they're like, yeah, so you're kind of, they didn't really call me a prophet, but essentially they're like, okay, as I was explaining to them that, the angels and the guides lead me here and like this, and I pray, and I make sure that the space is clear, and I'm not allowing, and I'm not partaking in anything. And I'm just very like, and they're like, well, it takes a lot of work to be able to do that. You have to be a super clean vessel, and you have to do this. And so I started explaining to them, and they're like, okay, wow, okay, so yeah, so you are being, you know and they said, wow, so then you do believe, like, inshallah, right? Like, as they say, if God so wills it, right, then it will be provided. And they're like, wow, because I think that they didn't really, I think that a lot of religions don't understand that we're all on the same note of, well, if we're doing our work and our due diligence, right, and we're in prayer, and we're not hurting or attacking or berating, we're not doing this, then we say, listen, we understand that, this is our soul's mission, our soul's calling, and we're going to um, continue that, then we'll continue that, right? And that's just kind of what it is. And so, yeah, it's just very interesting in some type of sense, that many people can really get on board with understanding that it's literally all of these higher ups. It's literally all these people that want to create the separation, because even the Buddha talked about that all of the different religions were necessary, right? All of the different religions were necessary for people to be able to find their connection to source, their way back, right? And that's what was taken away with the Tower of Babel. It's like, no, we're not going to let you get close because there's too much ego. And it's the same thing that happened with Atlantis, right? It's the same thing. When too much ego came, then boom, there was like whatever, the comet or whatever from the sky that came and destroyed. Maybe it was a comet, maybe it was a laser. We don't know, right? What we do know is that many times it's taken away entire civilizations or made us have to reset entire situations. And so, anyways, um, this is a bit long, but I guess we will read it. Okay. So first we'll read about Abaddon, the angel of death, because I guess that's just what's going on here. Which is number 13. So if you are a Scorpio, this is for you, but I'm going to read to you guys from this. Okay. The destroyer and the death's dark angel. He is specially associated with the destroyer angel of Revelation. He is the angel invoked by Moses to bring a blighting rain down upon Egypt. In Kabbalism, Abaddon resides in the sixth lodge of hell. He is sometimes credited with being the chief of the underworld of demons, which equates him with Satan or Samael. In the Apocalypse, Abaddon is sometimes given as the angel of the abyss who binds Satan for 1,000 years, also ascribed to Michael. That's funny in its own right. In this image, Abaddon is depicted as the grim reaper of death, similar to images from the Apocalypse and the angel of death portrayed on gravestones. In the traditional tarot, death is usually portrayed as the grim reaper. Despite his terrible appearance as a sinister character, Abaddon does not herald dark and terrible things in the tarot. He does signify death and endings, but they are not necessarily physical deaths. His appearance in reading usually marks the end of a phase, a project, a revelationship, even a stage of spiritual growth. In alchemy, it is necessary for the old self to die away in order to experience a rebirth of consciousness at a higher level. This is why all of the mystery traditions have initiation rites of symbolic death and rebirth. Do not fear Abaddon, but welcome the chance for change, for a new growth, for regeneration. So, something that is important to understand here is sometimes it's not necessarily just a death, it can be an ego death, right? So, for different people, it can become an ego death. And we just have to but it's also the death of like old past versions. So as we understand, astrologically speaking, right, we're in this different space, and as we're in this different space, as we're in this Barbados basket, right, this is like revolutionary space. So we're seeing a lot of things that are changing that we wouldn't have ever seen happen before, that we've never actually seen or been able to record in history. Even all the outer planets, we didn't even necessarily know that some of them existed, so they say. But if we go back farther, the who was it, the Dogon tribe in Africa, right? They understand and they celebrate, basically they celebrate what do you call it? Um Sirius has a 50, I think it's like a 50 year, something like this, a 50 year cycle, and they celebrate. They have these, and they've been doing it for fucking centuries, right? And they're just like this tribe. So even though they say that we don't know all of this, the reality is we actually have been able to have access to this. We actually have been able to have um information regarding this type of thing, right? And the reality is the higher ups just keep blocking it, right? They just keep blocking it um, from being able to come through, right? So let's now read about Adamal. Adamal will be a little bit longer, but we'll let it run so you guys can see here. The Gnostics considered the first man, Adam, to be an earlier and superior being to the demiurge. He used to be superior to the demiurge. Used to. Interesting. So hang with me here. He came, and look how he's holding the apple that got stuck in his throat. Ay, 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 ay. Okay. To be an earlier and superior being to the demiurge, he came from an unknowable God through the spheres, gaining more materiality at each stage. He is associated with Jesus. As Jesus, he is superior to the demiurge, but he has no real life in him. Woo! Sorry, guys. Sorry, guys. I don't want that mosquito. The mosquito is getting me. Hey, Hannah Lucy. So we're learning about, we have the angel deck today because we're talking about, I guess we're talking about some religious stuff today. So anyways, gaining more materiality, he's okay. So as Jesus, he is superior to the demiurge, but he has no real life in him until he is imbued by the pneumatic life substance by Holy Eve, which was Lilith, the emanation of Sophia. How about that? Okay. This is Lilith. So Sophia is known as divine wisdom, wisdom divine. However, it's not just the knowledge. It's not just the unattained knowledge. Um, what it is the application and the experience of the knowledge. Okay, so that's why he is known as the fool who obtained the knowledge, right? According to one myth, Adam was created by the archons, the angelic lords of Italaboth, the demiurge son of Sophia, who appointed himself God over the earth. Wow, this is where the patriarchy came into play, guys. And this is a book that is Kabbalistic. What is this? Grounded in Kabbalistic, alchemical, and Christian mysticism, Catholic Christian mysticism. Okay, so this is where I learned a lot. It's from this book, this tarot book. You guys want to learn a bunch of stuff, especially about a lot of the angels. Okay, so he appoints himself God over the earth. The Apricon Johannes, a Gnostic document from the Nag Hammadi excavation, says that the Father revealed to Italaboth's 7 archons his own image in water, and they were so impressed that they resolved, "Let us make a man after the image and likeness of God." Each of them contributed to his power so that he incorporated in him the powers of the 7. Now, what's interesting, if you guys are new here, this is something that I talk about, right? Because this is how they actually created um, Durga. This is how Durga was actually formed, right? From the 7, um, from 7 or more of the gods bringing all of their powers together into one to create one, right? So that part, right? So now, It's interesting how they're like, we're gonna make him God in the form of man, but like this is text that's like far beyond their little story, their patriarchal story. So, anyways, we'll keep reading. I'm gonna read you guys this from this book here. Okay. Um, by 7. But he laid lifeless, and neither of them nor the 6 angels could quicken him to life. The mother, Sophia, however, same as Lilith, okay, um, intervened with the Father, and he sent Christ. I'm gonna delete you guys from the chat, GOC, if you don't knock that shit off. So, knock that shit off, because we're not dealing with that. We're not dealing with it. So, anyways, I can see because I have 2 other devices going, and it shows me that there's 1 or no people here. So I can see because you're kicking the other devices off of being online, and this one. So I need to remove them. We'll remove them. Okay. You guys got to go. We're trying to learn some stuff here. People are trying to learn some stuff, and I can see that you don't want them to learn. So bye. Bye. So listen, Russia, Ukraine, Cyprus, all of you asshats that are tapping into my shit, right? Unless you want the whole world, unless you want all, like, we can just turn all of the fucking Jews, all of the Muslim, everything like against you guys. If you guys want to keep blocking the divine word and the peace between of the world, because that's what you're doing. So mote it be. If you really want to do that, then that's on you. Again, you're cursing your countries and your bloodlines. So, your choice. But just know. Just like the kid that was supposedly from Afghanistan, which is Jan. Just because you cut your hair, you think I'm stupid? What happened? You're not running your poker circle and your sex ring and all this other shit? I was never mean to you, so watch yourself. Because that shit catches up real fucking fast like a cheetah. Like the cheetahs that you are. Don't fuck with shit bigger than you. So, anyways. So the mother, Sophia, the same as Lilith, however, intervened with the Father, and he sent Christ with his 4 great lights to Idilaboth in the form of Idilaboth's angels. They advised him to breathe into the face of the new creature the power that he had inherited from his mother. From his mother. The power, because they couldn't bring life. Only the feminine energy could bring the life. Okay? He did so, and thus transferred to Adam all of the power, so that Adam then became the superior to both of the creators, the 7 archons, and to Idilaboth himself even. So this is basically where the demiurge comes into play, right? This is where the demiurge comes into play, right? Okay? So, again, this is patriarchy. This is patriarchy. So, Idilaboth and his powers then brought Adam down into the material world and fashioned him a body made from the 4 elements. God in his mercy sent Adam down into the material world. He sent him a helper, the soul or spirit within, the epiphania of light, whom he called Zoe, I swear to God, you guys. You see that? Can you see that all right? Can you see that? We'll just hold it here so you guys can screenshot it. That's why they want to block it. But whatever. We don't care. I don't care. It doesn't matter. I'm still going to read it and I'm still going to share it. It doesn't matter. Whether you can see me or not doesn't matter to me. I know that you're trying to use me on some whatever porn site, and I really don't give a fuck because I'm fulfilling my divine mission and nobody's going to stop me from doing that. But I can assure you that the angels will sure as fuck stop you from doing your evil deeds. That's for fucking sure. So enjoy that. May you have whatever you deserve. So he called this epiphania of light, whom he called Zoe. This was the hidden in Adam, so the archons would not come aware of it. Idolaboth set Adam in paradise to deceive him, for its bliss was illusory. The tree of life was intended to lead him astray and to keep him from reaching perfection. The tree of knowledge of good and evil, the tree of gnosis, was no other than Zoe. Hence, the commanded from Idolaboth not to eat of it. Adam was commanded, not Adam and Eve. Like, no, he was there. He was there. It was specifically put there because they knew that this man that was in the form of a man, in the form of ego, that they had done this. They did it specifically to deceive him, to keep him in this trap, to keep him in this fear, to keep him in this state of separation from the divine. Okay? To prevent Adam from perceiving the truth, Idolaboth brought the forgetfulness upon him and then created another human being in the form of a woman. Zoe instigated them to eat of the tree of gnosis, so they became aware of their true being. Again, this would be Sophia, right? This would be Zoe means life, right? But this is also Lilith, right? Wisdom, life, the divine wisdom, life embodiment. Okay. So Lilith was also known as the Naga, this higher level sense, what was depicted as a snake or a serpent that came back into the garden. So she instigated them to eat of the tree of gnosis, and so they became aware of their true beings, realizing his failure. Idolaboth then cursed man and expelled him. Idolaboth desired Adam's wife and begot 2 sons. How about that? The righteous Ilium and the unrighteous Have, whom men called Cain and Abel. These he set over 4 elements for which the material body of man had been made. Idolaboth also implanted sexual passion within Adam, whose son was Seth, or Set. There are now 2 spirits in man, one divine and the other material. The former inspires him from his sleep and the forgetfulness to gnosis. The latter serves the ends of Idolaboth. So the former inspires him from his sleep, the divine, right? It wakes him up, gets him out of his sleep, and the forgetfulness to gnosis, right? The latter serves the ends of Idolaboth, the material, the more demonic in nature. Other versions emphasize Sophia's role, blending her with the soul, Epiphania, like I just said, and the holy Eve. She hides herself in the tree of gnosis when threatened by the archons seeking to escape domination by Adam. They seek to defile her so that they would have control over her and her children. but they instead defile an image of herself that she created. It is the archons who tell Adam and Eve not to eat of the tree of gnosis, but the serpent intervenes and convinces Eve to eat. Therefore, she gives the gnosis to her husband, and their understanding is then opened. Why? Because she wasn't commanded not to, because it was some other shit in the first place. But still, man failed, right? He was tempted and he failed. She was never told no. Never. Crazy, right? But he was, and he didn't follow directions just like a man, and then try to put it off on the woman. How about that? That's a tale as old as time. Oh. Anyways, it is the archons who tell Adam and Eve not to eat of the tree, but the serpent intervenes and convinces them to eat. Okay? So the understanding is opened. In dismay, the archons cast them out of paradise. Sophia drives the archons out of heaven and casts them down into the sinful cosmos, so they become the wicked demons of this earth. In another myth, Adam is originally a hermaphrodite. His feminine part is split off into two to become Eve, right? After Lilith or Sophia left. Interesting. After the fall, the archangel Michael takes Adam to heaven in a fiery chariot. Here, Adam is given an angelic name, Adam Mel. The Hebrew suffix El means the shining one. His nudity symbolizes his restoration to his original innocence. He holds an apple, the symbol of his foolish disobedience to God and his fall from grace, but also to symbolize also the symbol of his gnosis or wisdom. Adamel represents the start of a spiritual journey as innocence and its unrealized end, which is gnosis. The apple, round shape and red color, represents totality, wholeness, desire, and ripeness. You are bringing your journey to fruition through a series of choices. Some of them are wise, some of them are not so wise. Thus, the apple also represents our downfall through our own foolishness, or the reward of bounteous nature, love, and immortality. Like Adamau, you possess freshness and the ability to retain innocence, the zest of the explorer who is not afraid to experiment, yet the one who has not had enough experience to be wary of traps and pitfalls along the way. Perhaps you are even a bit naive at times and tend to act on impulse without considering the consequences at hand. So, the way that I see this is our old structure, right? Our old patriarchal structure is ending. The ego death is the patriarchal structure. This is us being foolish. This is us being unaware. This is us thinking, oh, just because people have told us that everything has been this way and has to be this way, and because we should fight because we're in a different country or we're a different color or we're a different race or a different religion or whatever all of this shit is, right? Just because of all of this, we're creating wars with each other. No, 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 no. It is these other people that feed off of us, that harvest our energy, that harvest our soul's purpose, and that harvest our ability to reach the gnosis, right? It's okay to reach the gnosis. It's okay to learn the knowledge, right? And part of this is, as they say sometimes, having blind faith, okay? Yes, you should have faith in the divine, right? In your direct connection to the divine. Does that mean that you have blind faith, which means, oh, well, my religion is the only religion and therefore every other religion is bad? No, go fucking study the other religions. Do the same like I did, right? How can you actually, and a lot of people, they don't like this because they said this is how you were born and this is what you should do and da 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 da. Well, you know, we're a little bit past that, right? We're a little bit past that. If you want people to have a divine connection to source, a higher connection to source, then you have to understand that there is different ways. There's more than one way for people to learn and for people to receive and for people to connect, right? Religion is opium for the masses, right? Religion is about having a middleman that tells you how you must connect or worship to God, right? This is patriarchal nonsense. And spirituality is for those who already have a direct connection to source, who already have a direct connection to the divine, right? Which means you can sit, you can meditate, you can pray, you can do whatever you want, um, to have your connection, right? 9. Okay, this is the 9 of cups. So this is about having our wish fulfillment. This is about having our spiritual, right? Because the heart is like the soul. The cups are the soul, the emotions, right? It's about understanding actually what feels better, what feels in alignment for us. You know, if evil is what feels in alignment, then you should probably recheck yourself. You should probably wonder, what you are being told to do. And this goes for religions that want to hurt or kill or harm or maim or attack other religions in the name of God, because God is love, right? The divine source creator, God, Goddess, Allah, Jah, whatever you want to call it, is love. It is pure love. Oh my God, you guys. Literally. This deck, I forgot. There's actually an extra. This makes me want to cry. We are reaching this. We are reaching this. Matriarchy meow. Remember, effective patriarchy, matriarchy meow. This deck actually is old, and I've counted it many times. There's actually one extra card. At first I thought there was a card missing, and I tried to figure out forever what the missing card was, and I laid them all out and I was like, there's not a missing card, there's an extra card. There is 2 9 of hearts, which is the 9 of cups. This is wish fulfillment. This is emotional, spiritual connection, gratification, this wish fulfillment, right? So after this ego death, after this death of our old ways, our old structures, our old governments, our old way of separation, of scarcity, of fear, of survival, of lack, of separation, right? After this ego death happens and we realize, wait a second, they're just trying to keep us trapped when we already ate of the tree of life, of knowledge of good and evil, and we already have this information and it's already been implanted within us. Within us. This is soul. This is soul implantation. And it's waking up and it's awakened and it is very live. Live and direct. Ba, 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 ba. Look at this. You guys, literally, like, hey, can I get a sign of your sign? Yes, you can get a double confirmation. What the fuck? This is crazy, right? So, anyways, this is what's going on. What happened to my hair? Nothing happened to my hair. I bleached my hair again. I went into town. I bleached my hair again. Nothing happened. I chopped it all off. How about that? Does that make you feel better? No, actually, I wasn't gonna even fuck with this, but then I was like, I've been doing actual channelings. I've been doing actual channelings with actual real people and actual um, people that have passed that are looking to clear. And so I've been talking a lot to the Indonesian people and working with some places where there's a lot of spirits that were trapped and different things like this, and talking to the local authorities, and I found out, like, my neighbor came down and they're like so impressed by my Indonesian. He's like, oh yeah, blah blah blah, yeah, I have this house and this one and this one and this one, and he's like really high up police officer, and I was like, oh, that's so cool. Let's talk. Let's talk. And they're really impressed, actually. So we're going to do some exchanging because his kids are trying to learn English. Wouldn't you just guess that? Like, how? Stay blessed. Hashtag let's get growing, people. You know what I'm saying? Like the divine. Inshallah, as they say, right? If God wills it, then it will be. And so it is. So mote it be. Orifiel, the angel of wilderness. Okay. So blessings upon blessings. I can't even believe that we got both of the nines. I don't know that I've ever had both of them come out in a read. I've been literally sitting with this deck for, I don't know, like 10, 11 years now. I literally only just found out last year because I was tripping out on it, um, that there was two of the same card. Because that literally, I've never had them show up at the same time. It's crazy, right? So, Orpheal. Orphea? Who are you, Orpheal? The angel of wilderness, the hermit. My dude. The hermit. Okay. So I love this deck. So let's go see what he has to say. Because, the interesting thing is many religions, they still are believing in these angels and the archangels. They understand about the demiurge, about the archons, about all of this being trapped. And that's how they keep us trapped, is by the separation of religion and by using God as the way to fight each other. Like it's so, and it's like we were having a good laugh when I was sitting with these guys. We're like, fuck, just like, wow, it's so crazy. So it's like literally just like these other people that want to keep us separated, and literally like they believe some of the same things, right? Like we started getting into it, and like really not getting into it, but like getting into understanding and about like why we do this, why they dress a certain way, and why they do for instance Ramadan. It's like for people to understand, for people to bring people all to the same level, right? So everybody can understand what it's like to um to be in devotion, number one, right? To be in selfless devotion to something higher than them, and to also feel what it's like to not be able to eat, right? To take that, it's like a level of empathy in a certain type of way, right? And I experienced that as I was like not having food and water and all this stuff, like experiencing the same things that everybody in the world is also experiencing at different points in time. And so yeah, it's just so interesting that we let all of these things create separation, whether it is religion or race or politics, when really we, the people, like, do we, the people, want war? No. Do we, the people, want megalomaniacs running our shit? No. Do we, the people, want to have everything taxed that nature is providing us for free? No. Do we want to kill people and have war? No. Do we want pedophiles? Do we want to hurt women and children and rape them? Like, I'm pretty sure no. You know? Like, I mean, even the women getting them covered up, like, yes, to some extent it is to prevent men from like wanting from their physical desires, but it is also for a type of protection, right? To keep them protected, which, well, we should be able to be more in control. Men, you should be able to be more in control of yourselves than to be using women, right? And any men that are out there using women, anybody, like, bro, we're gonna have, like, you think I'm joking? Heed my warning. We will have a whole museum of fucking cocks in a jar, right? Of chopped cocks for anybody. Like, people are like, oh, put them in jail. Like, no, you literally If you're raping women and children, if you have done that, whether you're doing it online and creating fake shit or you're doing it physically, like you've already defiled somebody. You've defiled something beyond a level of repair. You cannot repair it, especially if you put it online, right? Especially, especially if you've made it public fucking knowledge, right? You've already defiled something sacred that you cannot take back. You can never take that back. Therefore, the obvious solution is to cock chop and put that shit in a jar, because guess what? If men were afraid that they were gonna get that they were gonna get chopped, do you know what I'm saying? And people that get the chop, they don't get to transition. They don't get to get a new one. Like, that's not a possibility. You get that, and then you get locked up for an extended amount of time. Maybe until you learn your lesson, or maybe until you die. I don't really fucking know, right? But minimally, you've defiled something sacred that can never be returned. So defiling what is sacred to you that can never be returned with low guillotine action, low slap chop action, is clearly the only solution that I see. So mote it be. Heed my warnings. So let's learn about our buddy here, Raphael. Orpheus has a prominent place in the angel lore and magical lore. Pope Gregory listed him among the 7 archangels. Oh, here, move him over so you guys can see him. Among the 7 archangels of the wilderness. Orpheus is invoked in numerous magical incantations pertaining to his various roles as regent of the world, angel of the 2nd hour of the day, and angel of Saturday. Okay, so he's ruling Saturn. So this is which is interesting because Saturn is about to go in retrograde, right? I think it's today's the 24th. So from, I think, the 26th until about the 10th or the 11th of December, Saturn, which is the planet of rules, laws, restriction, organization, right, is going retrograde. So it's literally like, bro, if there has never been a better time for death of the patriarchy and this beautiful, loving soul wish fulfillment of the matriarchal to be protecting our women and children to come back in. Oh, here we go. Here we go. Orpheus, let's bring it. Coming in hot. Coming in hot. So Orpheus's association with wilderness and Saturday link him to the Greek Roman gods Cronus, Saturn, who also ruled the wilderness and the passage of time. Saturn is heavy, often dour, influence appropriate for the position occupied by the hermit in the traditional tarot. In fact, the oldest extant tarot decks use Saturn to depict the card now called the Hermit. Also the ruler of Capricorns. So money, business, rule, governmental. How about that? How about that? Law, authority. Respect my authority. In this image, the Saturn-like angel sits under a tree in the wilderness holding a hermit's staff, a symbol of his role as a wandering philosopher. He is deep in contemplation. Tarot interpretation is: you have gained much wisdom from your experiences. It's time to pause and reflect upon them for additional insights. The wilderness is a symbol of withdrawal for the purposes of spiritual rebirth. It is not necessary to remove yourself physically from the workaday world, but merely to withdraw to an inner place where you can experience what the mystics call the silence. In the silence, which can be accessed through prayer, meditation, or contemplation, it is possible to raise your consciousness to higher levels. It is a healing experience from which you emerge refreshed and ready to rearrange. or re-engage in the world. Beautiful, you guys. So many of my beautiful divine light warriors, star seeds, indigos, rainbows, crystallines, all of you beautiful beings out there. Yeah, I have kind of just gotten back to nature, to Mother Nature, Mother Earth, Mother Ocean, Mother Moon. We're about to have actually a full moon too. Amazing. The Knight of Spades. Look at this, guy's pissed. These are all the people that are watching, that are stalking, and they're mad because whatever they have been doing, whatever they're trying to do, isn't working. Look at that look on his face. Look at that bent ass. Looks like someone shoved one of these straight up, all up in theirs, huh? Air signs. So let's see. Tell us about this Knight of Spades. What's going on? Give us some more. Give us a few here. Thank you. Temperance, Angel of Time. These people have been trying to, obviously, mess with your viewers, your time, right? They're trying to waste time. They're trying to do all of this. But to all of the high level beings, it doesn't matter, right? It doesn't really matter, because what's going on here is this is the Angel of Time, right? The temperance is really about alchemy. It's about understanding that time is a human construct. Again, we are eliminating that. We have the fools that have now attained knowledge, right? By this ego death, by this death of the old system of the patriarchal ways of man being the more powerful one in rule. It's not actually what it is, right? We are stepping into this different space. We are alchemizing that energy. Now, to be a true alchemist means someone can throw fuel to the fire, right? And you use that as a generator to generate heat. You use that as fuel to blast off a rocket or whatever it is, right? This is where real alchemization actually comes into play. So let's read about this. Let's read about this Angel of Time. The Temperance, the Angel of Time. Because, I like sharing this book. And whatever, we can all learn some things. We can all learn about some angels today, right? We can all learn about all these angels, because I called in all the heavy hitters. So bring it on. Bring them on, right? Bring them forward. Let's go. My homies. Here we go. Here we go. Temperance is traditionally an angel in the tarot shown standing on land and sea and pouring water from one cup or urn into another. The pouring of water is the measuring of time from ancient Greek world unto the Renaissance. Clocks most commonly used water, not sand. In the Zohar, the name temperance refers to the angel of time. The straddling of land and sea symbolizes a balance between the world of mundane affairs and the physical, and the world of intuition, emotions, and dreams. The angel temperance is ministering angel who presides over each act a person does throughout life. In the image here, the angel hovers over between land and sea. It's a girl. No shit. She wears a sun on her forehead and a brooch. Looks like a diamond. And a brooch that is the septenary symbol, a triangle in a square. The sun rises in the background and is the dawning of a new day. Literally, you guys. It's a new dawn, it's a new day, it's a new life for we. Yeah. Welcome to the new era, kNEW, guys. So Temperance ushers in the new day, the rebirth that follows the ending marked by Abdon, the angel of death. What? You guys, literally, can I make this up? Literally. Okay. You guys saw me. That's why I'm shuffling it in front of you. Okay. This new day follows the ego death, follows the death of the patriarchy, this old structure of us being unaware and now us obtaining this knowledge, right? Us basically being like, actually, all of that information that was hidden isn't secret anymore. We knew it, it was already inside of us, and you can't take it away. Because love, love, love. All that fulfillment. And they're over here like they're mad. They're like, no, no, don't stop. Stop the connection from happening. Stop them telling it. Stop with the TV. Stop with the word stop. They're so mad. You stop. You stop because we ain't stopping. Can't stop. Won't stop. Turn up. Turn down for what? No, we're going to turn up. Turn up the beats, bro. Let us turn up the beats, okay? Because we want to eat, okay? We don't need money. We don't need power. We don't need struggle. We don't need all that shit. We need the food to eat that comes from the earth, right? We need that alchemy. That's where we're at. So, anyways, temperance ushers in the new day, the rebirth that follows the ending, marked by Abaddon, the angel of death. Go figure. Time marches on in an unending rhythm, absorbing all things that happen into its continuum. You guys, literally, when I was like, the power struggle is over, my power started beeping. After I said the ending marked by the angel of death, time marches on into the undying rhythm. My power started beeping. Literally, the power struggle is over, right? It like when it beeps, it means it's gonna go off. But we're going off, coming in hot. Literally, I literally can't make this shit up. It's so good. Okay, time marches on an undying rhythm, absorbing all things that happen into its continuum. Put your worries, upsets, and setbacks into this grand cosmic perspective. You will stay calm and centered. Temperance shows us the higher order that exists over everything. Relax and go with the flow. Relax. Don't do it when you want to go to it. Isn't that the whatever you call it? You guys. This is the card that I was looking for. The Tower. This is like when God strikes down the Tower of Babylon. Yeah, I know. I really like every time I hear that though, I think of Zoolander, right? I think of Zoolander when they programmed him. Okay, so okay, calm down, calm down. So this is the correlation. If you guys go slower so I can process the words, please. Thank you. So, anyways, the correlation is in that movie. If you guys have ever seen Zoolander or not, I'm not sure, but it's a funny movie. You should watch it. So they program him, right? They're like, oh well, he's just a male model, right? And they're so impressed by their looks and by their value. Is there anything else in the world besides being really, 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 really ridiculously good looking? But this is basically a pun on like all of this actually, which is funny now because I never thought about it in this nature, but apparently it's given me the download. So here we go. And so anyways, what they're what they're downloading me with is, it's like man can be so stuck in their own ego thinking, well, I'm so good and I do all of this and I'm all of that and blah 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 blah, that they can literally be led astray, right, into a health spa where they're injecting them, and basically that's what happens to him, right? It's Ben Stiller, right? He plays Zoolander, and he gets drawn into this special health spa, right, for male models. And they program him with this song, relax, don't do it. And basically, it's a trigger, right? So when the song plays, it's for him to kill the prime minister. I don't want to say all of it, but whatever. Um, Anyways, it's something that it made me like I was joking like when I first came out to Asia, I was like, I gotta go to Malaysia, but like not, not to do anything bad. But there's actually a lot of dark energy, like a lot of spirits that need to be free, a lot of stuff that happened in Malaysia. It was really heavy for me to go there. And they were really like not too happy about me because at the time I also had like super blonde hair and was like a woman traveling by myself and trying to go to the traditional markets and stuff, and they were like not having it. But anyways, I digress. So anyways, in the movie, that's what they do is they take him and they program him, and that's basically what's happening, right? The micro and the macro, right? That's what's happening, and that's what the demiurge has done is kind of programmed man into this state of ego to being like, well, we're more powerful, or we're in control, or we're this, or we're that. And it's like, whoa, 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 whoa. How do you expect children to read and learn things if they can't even fit into buildings, right? What is this, a center for ants? Yes, that's how they're treating us. Imagine we're like in this little ant farm, and these, whatever, I don't want to say higher ups. I want to say, um, like the demiurge, right? I call them the deletes. I got that from a homie that does tarot. A shout out chosen 144. Um, but yeah, he dropped it, the deletes, right? So instead of, let's put a D in front of that, because they're like the demiurge with the elites all mixed together. So this is the energy of, they want to keep us programmed, they want to keep us in this thing, and that's why God is like, listen, no, we're alchemizing that. You guys are waking up. You're coming out of this wilderness state, right? You're doing all of this. You're coming out of this wilderness state. And here we have this brachial, the lightning of God. And this is what I was talking about, right? The Tower of Babel. It's like, look at him. He doesn't look happy to be doing it. It's like, I don't want to destroy all of this, right? And this is what I've been channeling, right? Is that this is the energy. This is the energy of the planet, right? This is the energy of Mother Nature. This is the energy of, listen, God is not the one creating the war, and the war is not happening over God. That is a separation that they put between us. And God's like, listen, I don't want to have to destroy all of you guys again, because we've come so far and everybody's waking up, right? We're alchemizing, we're learning, right? We're having this ego death, right? We're having this ego death. We understand. We understand that we came down here. We understand that we're in a state of center area. We understand that we have to go within and we have to find, we have to find this peace. We have to get there, right? Instead of being so here watching and stalking and talking and judging, right? This is literally like judgy, not just judgy, but like stalking. This is also like gossiping, right? These are people that are spreading lies, spreading information, spreading bad stuff. And like, look at it. This is envy. This is jealousy. This is greed. This is all of these things, right? And this is what we're alchemizing. We're understanding where it's coming from, because God's like, listen, don't make me, I don't want to. I don't want to cause, like, we don't have to have this whole fallout. Like, it can be, um, it can be more metaphorical, right? It can be more metaphorical, more metaphysical. It doesn't have to be so physical, right? We don't have to destroy everything, which is why they're kind of stepping into this higher level of to prevent that from happening, right? And hopefully we're all getting on board with that. But yeah, Brachial, the lightning of God. So we're going to read about Brachial. Brachial's name means lightning of God. He is one of the 7 archangels who stand before God, one of the 4 ruling seraphim, the prince of the second heaven, the angel of the month of February. Brachial also rules the planet Jupiter, which associates him with the god Jupiter, who hurls lightning bolts to punish and discipline mortals and gods alike. Brachial is also the only power that can overcome the demon envy. Bro, did I not just say envy, jealousy? Like, literally, you guys. So if you're wondering if I'm channeling, 100%. Um, so the only power that can overcome the demon envy, perhaps because he shatters illusions with his lightning, a symbol of enlightenment. In mythology, lightning is sometimes a gift from heaven. Brachial also is invoked as an angel of luck in games of chance. In the traditional tarot, the tower is cracked by lightning. Here, Brachial prepares to destroy a tower with his sword of lightning. The shattering intensity of the act brings about illumination and liberation from the confines of the tower. So imagine the tower is like where we're trapped, right? And imagine like they're showing me like Rapunzel. You know what I'm saying? Imagine that we're trapped. We're trapped we're in this construct, right? We're in this construct of time. We're in this tower that we have built, saying whatever. Hey, Zikram, nice to see you guys. I am still in Bali. I'm chilling in the moon studio. I'm in the moon studio. Um so brachial heralds a breakthrough, creative insight, a flash of genius or inspiration. You are suddenly able to see things in a new perspective. Clarity replaces confusion or uncertainty. Brachial can also signify a sudden upheaval or change in our lives. We never know when and if lightning will strike, but when it does, it can turn our world upside down. Again, Jupiter can be like this. Jupiter can be expansive, but um, with this other one, with Orpheus, right? He's Saturn, so it's about to strike what we know as our structure, as our governments, as rule, as organization, as different things like this. Okay, so if you are being so affected, remember this: your change is a gift from the heavens. Release the old that was no longer needed and embrace the new. There are fresh horizons beyond this tower. So understand that what we may have been directed to be fighting or to create separation or whatever was just for them, was just a game that they were playing to keep us, stuck essentially. So, yeah, something like this. So we're just breaking these old barriers. 2, 4, 6, 8. The 8 of Wands. So messages. We're receiving these divine messages. These messages from higher. We're getting these downloads. It's like what they tried to block from this information, right? This is basically what's been coming through. Is it's the tree, the of knowledge of good, of evil, right? um, of gnosis, right? And the reason why they don't want us to reach gnosis is because they can keep us in this lower vibrational frequency. Once we reach gnosis, once we understand that actually it's a bigger game, creating this separation, creating this hate, creating this fear, this scarcity, this lack, right? When we understand that it's a little bit of that, then we start to reach the gnosis, right? This is where like quantum mechanics also comes into play, right? The observation, right? The act of the observation of things. So 9 of Swords. So yeah, it's about all of the things that are keeping us in this nightmare state. Okay, this is in the traditional tarot, the nine of this is spades. So the 9 of Swords is basically like not being able to sleep, right? Like this nightmare, this fear. Again, exactly what I'm saying, right? It's this people attacking, it's this fear, it's this lack, it's this old frame of mind, this old what they're wanting me to touch on, right? Like, let's say we understand that there's a lot of terrible things that are happening in the world. Now, it's important to observe to bring them to the awareness, right? But now that it's all brought to the awareness, we don't need to continue giving it so much energy because we're feeding, right? We're feeding it, right? So yes, okay, people are like, well, we need more of the Epstein files to come out because we need to do all the la 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 la. No, 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 no. Yes, yes and no. Yes and no. But we're using the energy wrongly, right? We need to create safe centers. We need to create spaces. We need to create different programming. Like we need to change all of this, right? And we need to stop fighting these deletes. We need to stop fighting these powers, right? Because we the people are giving them more power. We're allowing them to hold that power over us. Now, when I share stuff, it's to bring into the forefront of our understanding, right? So we can observe, wait, we have been asleep, right? We have been in this state and we have been in this compliant state because to just be in compliance with it is not okay. Now, yes, we do want to fight for our children. We want to fight for our freedoms. We want to fight, but let's stop fighting these other systems. And the way that we fight is not by fighting, right? That's not by fighting. It's counterproductive. It's by creating new systems. It's by creating new structures, right? It's this ego death of thinking that we have to fight in the same way that we've been taught. The war, right? Because you got to understand that this war, right? World War III is already underway, right? It's chemical, it is mental, right? It is emotional, right? So they've done it. They've done it with what they're putting in our food, what they're putting in our water, what they've rewritten in our books, all of this stuff, right? So we've already been being poisoned like this, what they're putting in our mind, right? So everything that we're watching, like a lot of our things are programmed, right? Social media, news, content, right? And this is something that I was here talking to my friends with, and they were just like, yeah, it's crazy because in one country, it will make this other country or this other religion or this other political view look like this certain type of way, right? And like, yeah, that's how it's done, right? Especially in America. It's like, oh, all these people are doing super bad things. It's like, no, it's not all of those countries. It's not all of those people. You know, I posted something. There was this girl and she shared this thing. She's like, listen, listen, listen. Like, listen, you guys think, oh, well, like you're at war with America. Like, no, 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 no. Like negative 30% of America is actually on board with this fool. Actually, we did the numbers, and actually, like the war, you're not waging the war with our country. You're waging the war with the raging megalomaniac that the leaders that are trying to manipulate. And so what we have to understand is when we stop choosing right or left or politics or religion, when we stop fucking choosing that and we just start choosing human nature, right? Literally nature and human, right? We're all from nature unless we're some weird species, right? That are here to infiltrate. Like, why would we not want clean drinking water? Why would we not want food that isn't poisoned? Why would we not want our women and our children to be safe? That's inhumane. That means that they are non-human. Why would we want to annihilate? Why would we want to cause a genocide? Why would we want to kill or murder or attack or harm or hurt or destroy nature or old monuments or people or children or schools? Like, why? That is so inhumane. Like, what? There is no race, religion, political stance that you're ever going to get me or any actual real human being, right? That believes in life, that wants to eliminate life, whether that's the planet, whether that's children, whether that's a country, a religion, a political, like, no, 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 we're missing the fucking boat, guys. You're missing the point. You're feeding in to their destructive cycle. You're feeding into it. So stop feeding into it and let's start creating places where children are prioritized. Right now, there's children that are still in the detention centers. Right now, there's children that are still going missing. Right now, there's women that are still being not believed and molested and raped and all these weird things, right? There's still people that are trying to, kill each other. There's still missiles and bombs and war and money and greed and power. Like that's what we need to stop feeding. Stop feeding those systems. It's really simple. You just stop fucking participating and you say, listen, you know what? Actually, we want to participate in life. Life. Zoe means life, right? We want to participate in life, in the survival of our species, and the survival of our race, of our country, right? We're all one, we're all human, we're all part of this human race, but like, it's not a race. We're not in a race. It's not a fucking competition, y'all. It's not a competition. It's not. Everybody is on their own individual journey. That's why we incarnated here to learn our own bit of gnosis, right? So some people learn at different speeds, at different levels, in different ways, through different understandings, through different locations, through different religions, right? And so it's just what it boils down to is people, we're all people. We're all people. Like there's nowhere where you're going to tell me that not having clean drinking water, clean food, that people not having housing or some type of sheltering, or some type of education, some type of just humane behavior, like is not normal. Like what is abnormal is people that want to move forward, that people that are exploring other planets. Why? Because they're trying to blow up this planet. Why do we need to create underground bunkers? Why would we be working with nuclear weapons? Like my grandfather showed me like that nuclear power plants, right? That nuclear fusion, if used properly, can produce so much power. But again, if in the wrong hands, used the wrong way, then we're destroying things. It's just we've chose to let the wrong people or whatever, right? They've programmed us in a certain type of way, right? Um, to let these darker entities or beings that are kind of running this. So stop subscribing to that shit. We the people, right, have the capacity to say, actually, we're not participating. Actually, we don't want to work with this corporation. Actually, like when I see people like wearing different brands and things like this, like, sorry, not sorry, but like, I'm sorry, like Nike, Adidas, like, bro, like, I need to put up a whole nother list, but it's like they're funding the wars. They're funding killing people. They're funding killing children. They're funding this shit. Like, stop, you guys. Like, it's really simple. Stop wearing the things with the logo. Stop because you want to be sponsored because you want free shit. Like, stop. You know what I want? I want freedom for people. I want drinking water. I want food. I want the ability to for people to have housing and to have safe space for children and women to be able to go out and not worry about being stolen or raped or molested or trafficked or killed. It's just normal. That's normal. Anything else other than that is abnormal. It is literally inhumane. If you are still protecting or promoting these people, whether it is religious, whether it is political, whether it doesn't matter what it is, if they're on board with funding, with taking, with the power, with whatever, all of these fucking companies and corporations and everything, like how you stop fucking supporting them. That's it. Stop participating. Every dollar you spend, every time you wear one of their labels or their logos, like You know, like I've like every time I wear like, don't get me wrong, I really used to like Adidas, right? But the shoes, these sandals that I have is because my Doc Martin sandals, my friend's fucking dog chewed apart and they never fucking replaced them. Yeah, Tiana, you owe me a pair of fucking Doc Martin sandals and you didn't even buy me another pair of fucking shitty flip-flops. It's ridiculous, bro. $200 pair of shoes. But anyways, these Adidas ones I got used, second, third hand in Thailand, bro. Like how you spend your dollars, how you choose, and what you choose to support, and what you choose to promote for free is all part of it, everybody. It's all part of it. And we can take little steps by not buying shit from Zara and fucking H&M and all these people that are still employing child labor, slave labor that are doing that. Like, fuck, you know, like I'm about to make a whole thing out here, like in Indonesia, where people like, nah, like, sorry, people deserve fair pay. Like, people want clothing and stuff for so cheap. It's like, bro, the material costs this much, and then what? You think that people, you think that people should be paid fucking pennies? Like, do you want to go to work? Do you want to do your job for not even enough to pay for one meal for one whole day of work, and you can't even buy one fucking meal? No. So why the fuck would you support that happening in other places? What is wrong with you people? Seriously. Are you not human? Like, do you not, or did you just not think about it, right? Because a lot of us don't understand due to our own cultural programming. It's been past that. It's a competition. You're competing to keep out of the grave. Well, but you're not. Like the thing is, Chrissy, is like everything was free to us before we got here, right? They did an experiment about this. They did like the mouse experiment and they gave them everything they want, the same amount of female and male mice and everything they want. They didn't have to work, whatever. And then after a while, the male mice became more about the attention and in competition with each other. And then the females were like, okay, we're just going to keep doing our thing, right? And the males just went full on gay or whatever. I don't really know, to where the females were like, no, we're not going to breed. We're not interested anymore, right? And so they stopped all of it. And then they all died. They tried it like many times and it was always the same. So, no, everything was free before we got here. Now, I'm not saying it's just going to automatically go back to that way, but at the same time, this fucking killer mosquito, it's like huge, whatever it is. At the same time, I normally don't fucking kill things, but this thing is, I don't want it to bite me. Um, at the same time, we have the capacity to reallocate the way that things are going. We don't need to be in this state of megalomania, bro. We don't need to be like that. We don't need to be so power and so control. Like, wouldn't people like for their children to be able to travel to other countries without it being weird? Wouldn't you like to be able to just be able to have clean food and clean water? Like, do we need more data centers to monitor? Like, we're gonna go to this, like, you guys, did you ever see Terminator? Like, you rather have data centers than drinking water? It's not about, oh, we can create data centers without the water. You're missing the fucking point. Do you want to be monitored or do you want to be free? What kind of world do you want to live in? Because whatever you are supporting, if you're using AI every day, then you're supporting a Terminator type future. If you're like, listen, I'm trying to find people and I want to be planting and we don't want to use pesticides and we're keeping the kids here and we're all, like working and protecting the women and the children together, like it's a choice. It's a choice. Final offer, melted ice. Gaps, thanks. I did a little laugh. We're getting serious here because this is the sadness, right? This is the summertime sadness right here. The 5 of Cups. This is about, are we going to keep fighting each other, right? Like what he said, are the screwheads going to delete all of his comments today? No, they just are deleting all the people that come on. They're rerouting everybody that comes on. So like last time I was doing a feed, there was 7 likes but only 4 views. Like how is that even fucking possible? It's not even possible, right? Like they're just fucking with all the numbers because they just I don't know. They think it's going to hurt my feelings or something. Like it doesn't matter because it's getting out there regardless, right? You can block it all you want, but just know if you're blocking, you're going to get a chopping, all right? You're going to get that cock guillotine. Just know that. 100% guaranteed. So we have to stop fighting each other over what has happened in the past and understand how we, instead of crying over spilt milk, we see this new way forward, right? Because 5, even though yes, the 5 of Cups is like sad, is someone crying over all this stuff has happened. These people have been hurt. These children have been, all of this stuff. Yes, 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 yes. Now you're making a choice by saying either I am for it or I'm not for it. And if you're not saying that you're not against it, then you are concurring to it. So yes, definitely don't concur to it. Definitely say we're doing something, but there's other ways that we can go about it, right? We can say, listen, we're now starting, we're starting safe centers for children. We're starting, and I know that they did a lot of this, and a lot of people aren't going to like when I say this, but a lot of people that were high up, even religious figures, right, that were very popular, that we thought were very loving, right? They were working with some of these people. Why? Because they were taking big payouts. They were taking large payouts to create these centers for children, to collect them and to traffic them. Yeah, it's sad. It's really sad, but we don't have to keep crying about it. We can say, we can use this rage, this anger, this discontentment to, this is how you channel chaos magic, right? It's the best for creating. It's the best for birthing and creating new things, right? It can either become total chaos or it can be channeled into something more brilliant, more amazing, more beautiful. It's a choice. So 5 is the number of change. It's an indefinite change that is coming. The old is ending. Gabriel, the angel of revelation. Well, a revelation, because I was trying to figure out who this guy. I saw this. I saw an old homie, okay, Pinky. And I was trying to figure out who this person was because I was picking up on this energetic signature of who this dude was that was sitting with him. And I was like, who is this old, like, kind of heavy dude? Like, why is he familiar but not? Okay. Yeah. Chris. Yeah. Damn. Y'all don't be looking so good. Y'all here making fun of me, like, because I'm just here like straight bedhead out of bed. Like, fuck. I don't give a fuck because I don't give a fuck, right? Anyways, motherfuckers be out here stalking, but ain't nobody talking, at least not to me, but everybody talking about me, everybody out here watching. But unless you're gonna come and talk to me and tell me the full truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, unless you're gonna give me that reveal, that actual revelation, and guess what? I know. Yeah, I know. I see all you motherfuckers. I see all these weird people. You think I don't know who everybody is? You think I didn't? You think I didn't see out here last summer? You think I didn't see Justin? You think I didn't see John with his old turkey neck? You think I didn't see my Uncle Mike? You think I didn't see Justin? Your what is it? Your brother, kids and them? I seen all of them. You think I'm fucking disillusioned? No, bro. The point is if you don't talk to me, you don't exist in my world. Because why are you trying to enter my world all fucking sneaky? That's weird. So let me break down a little Revelation, because people love to talk about what happens in Genesis, but people don't be loving to talk about what happens in Revelation. You know what a revelation is? Why? Oh, shit. After you've been, after you've been enlightened, you may receive a little revelation here. So anyways, let's read about the revelations here. Think I don't fucking know. Treat me like I'm fucking stupid. No, you stupid. This ain't the ODB. It's the new DB. The angel of revelation. I am Gabriel, who stands in the presence of God. I was sent to you to speak to you and to bring to you this good news, says the archangel Gabriel to Zechariah, in announcing the coming birth of his son John the Baptist. Luke 1:19. And after John had gestated in the womb of Zechariah's wife Elizabeth for 6 months, God then dispatched Gabriel to Nazareth to announce to the virgin unmarried Mary that she would conceive a son through the Holy Spirit and should name him Jesus. Gabriel, whose name means hero of God in Hebrew, thus demonstrates his title of the angel of revelation and the Annunciation. According to Hebrew story, Abram, later known as the biblical patriarch Abraham, is left in a cave by his mother because of the slaughter of newborn males by the king Nimrod. God sends Gabriel to tend the infant and feed him with fingers dipped in milk. The archangel also talks with him. When Abram's mother, Ammittai, returns, she is amazed at her infant son's speech. In Islam, Gabriel's inaugurated the Night of Power with his first visionary appearance to Muhammad in 610, when the prophet was 40 years of age. Gabriel appeared in Muhammad's dreams as a messenger of Allah and gave him the first revelation of the Quran. Subsequent revelations in dreams and trances occurred over the rest of Muhammad's life. He died in 632, totaling 6,666 verses. The revelations earned Gabriel the equation with the Holy Spirit in Islamic analogy. He is the angel of knowledge and revelation, and the personal Holy Spirit companion and celestial guide. Gabriel heralds the new age. How about that? The new age, the dawning of Christ's consciousness. Wake up, wake up, wake up. He reveals the sacred mysteries to humanity. He is the angelic counterpart to the high priestess who holds this numbered position in the traditional tarot. Gabriel's association with conception and birth relate him to a woman's mysteries and to the great goddess, and thus the undying cycle of birth, death, and rebirth. His name also means the divine husband, and thus he is associated with the moon god. The moon is the ruler of the waters of the unconscious, the hidden mysteries. Gabriel is one of the most important biblical angels, for he is named in both the Old Testament and the New Testament. He is created with many acts besides Annunciation and Revelation. He is identified as the dark angel who wrestles with Jacob and is one of the angels sent by God to destroy Sodom and Gomorrah. But it is revelation that is Gabriel's trademark, and the archetypal image that resides. Sorry, guys, my bad. And the archetypal image that resides within our collective unconscious. He is shown here in a classic pose of Annunciation to Mary, preserved by numerous Renaissance artists. Okay. So he's over here looking like a Mary. He holds a lily. No. The symbol of Mary's virginity and a symbol of spiritual purity. He beckons us with a finger to listen, to come forward, to have no fear. He is an angel of the Lord, and we can explore the unknown with his protection. This is on page 77, by the way. Let me keep him here. Gabriel stands at the threshold to the gateway, to the mysteries, and to the higher consciousness. He is ready to reveal secrets and to serve as your guide and protector as you enter the higher realms. He reminds you to look to your dreams for answers and to rely on your intuition. He rules over what is hidden, and so you must look into the depths and read between the lines. Gabriel heralds the revealing of answers. He also points out when answers are in front of you. They just seem to be a little hidden. Have you asked the right questions? So, are we asking the right questions, guys? Uzzah hung between the heaven and the earth. So are we choosing to stay in this state or not? This is the hangman, also known as the hangman. Hold on. I guess we're just reading. I guess we're just learning tonight. I thought it was going to be quick, but okay, well, his isn't very long. The name Uzzah means strength. A variation of it is Semyaza, with the angel Azazel. Uzzah desired the woman of earth and came down from heaven and was corrupted. He was one of the leaders of the fallen angels expunged from heaven. As punishment, he hangs upside down between heaven and earth in the constellation of Orion, the hunter. A symbol of the archangel Michael hanging upside down is a traditional punishment for traitors. No shit. Orion's also the hunter, also the Sagittarius. Crazy, right? Uzzah signals a fall or loss. It might be self-esteem or it might be something material. Whatever the loss, there is no need to suffer hung in limbo, for self-esteem can be repaired and material things can be replaced. Focus instead on your spiritual values, your highest ideals. Learn from your mistakes. Admit when you are wrong. Uzzah's very name tells you that you have within you the means to recover. Which is interesting because, to be honest, he looks a little bit like, Satan. So you guys have the ability to have the strength. We're individually choosing, and some people will choose to stay in a lower realm, right? I tell you guys about this all the time, which actually it's talking about Abaddon, right, being in the sixth level, right? So we're basically, which makes sense, right? Because it's if he's like death or the Grim Reaper, right? The way I explain it to people many times is like there's 7 levels. Let's say there's like 7 levels of heaven. There's more, but let's just say, okay, 7 levels of heaven and 7 levels of hell, right? And we are on the bottom of heaven and the top of hell, right? And that's where earth, our heel, is touching. We're in literal hell. So in order to stop being hung between, we have to stop basically dealing with all of these things that are of these material things, which again is money, power, greed, lust, control, jealousy, envy, all of these, right? These things that are keep us stuck in this material state. Yeah, the herald of judgment. Because that's how you're gonna get judged. You ain't gonna judge somebody based on your religion. Like you can't do that. And not with this old like prison tattoo shit where it's like only God can judge me. Like, bro. No, but literally like the herald of judgment, right? Jeremiah. I don't have much more energy in me, guys, but we'll finish the channel here. Okay. The herald of judgment. The name Jeremiah means mercy of God, or whom God sets up. So know that sometimes God having mercy means setting you up in a space to allow you to make the right choice also, right? I picked up something on this earlier today and I made a post about it. And basically, that's what it was saying. Imagine that I was sent here by the divine to give you the chance to get yourself out of whatever evilness you got yourself into, and you still chose the wrong thing in the end of the day. So, the mercy of God, or whom God sets up. Early lists of the 7 original archangels include Jeremiah. His particular duty is as Lord of Souls awaiting resurrection. He leads the souls of the dead to the last judgment, where Michael weighs them against the truth. Here, Jeremiah sounds the trumpet that summons the souls of the dead from their graves. Judgment is a time of reckoning and resurrection. He signals that it is time for you to assess and review, to let go of grudges and grievances, and to right any wrongs that are possible. Don't let the past haunt you and cause trouble now or in your future. Thus you will be healed and renewed in spirit. And then we have the region of the sun. In non-canonical literature, Uriel is one of the most important angels described variously as an archangel, a seraph, and a cherub. The name Uriel means fire of God, or God is my light. Uriel is often called region of the sun. He bestows upon humanity the Kabbalah and alchemy, and so is the angel of enlightenment, which in turn is symbolized by the sun. Uriel is also the angel of thunder, lightning, like Barachiel, fire, and poetry, inspiration. The image here is based upon representations of Uriel, who is often shown with a flame in his hand and upon a vision had by Robert Michael Place. Uriel can be a stern and punishing angel. He presides over Tartarus or hell and diligently pursues punishment of sinners. According to the Apocalypse of St. Peter, This punishment consists of burning sinners, incinerating, maybe? That's crazy. Oh, it's 11:11 here. Watch yourself. Watch yourself. The punishment consists of burning sinners in everlasting fire and hanging blasphemers by their tongues over the unquenchable fires. On Judgment Day, he will break the brazen gates of Hades and assemble all of the souls before the judgment seat. As a cherub, Uriel guides the gate of Eden with his fiery sword in hand. Uriel has less harsh attributes. He is the angel dispatched by Metatron to warn Noah about the coming flood. He shares with Metatron the credit for giving the Kabbalah to mortals. He led Abraham out of Ur and interpreted prophecies for the benefit of humanity. In the pseudographical fourth book of Ezra, Uriel revealed heavenly mysteries to Ezra and answered questions about evil and justice. You are blessed by enlightenment and illumination. You bask in the warm and healing rays of the sun. If you have been in darkness, you are now in light, or light is soon coming. Uriel points to an attainment of maturity. The enlightenment is a combination of experience, trial, insight, and patience. You are becoming spiritually whole. In this state, it is not necessary to manipulate in order to achieve your goals. Again, we don't manipulate. We follow that light. God damn. Okay, so I don't know why we have to do these two. I'm tired. Okay, I'll do it. I'll do it. I'll read it. Oh, here's our buddy. Like I was telling you, this guy looks like this guy, doesn't he? A little bit, minus the horns, right? But listen, still angels, still working on the team. So we're going to go with this one. Thiel. To close this up, it's number 6. This is also the Prince of Lovers. Okay. Theliel appears in occult lore as the angel of love, whose name can be invoked in ceremonial magic to procure a desired lover. As such, he is related to Eros or Cupid, the Greek Roman god of love, who provides the model for the image here. Theliel holds the flaming heart of love. He is armed with his magical bow and arrow. The arrows shot into the heart cause people to fall in love with the first person or thing they see. Theliel is blindfolded because love is often blind. Love is joyful, sensual, pleasurable, and fulfilling. Love enables us to express our highest potential. But misguided love or love gone wrong brings on jealousy, pain, loneliness, and frustration. If the card is a good aspect, you are enjoying a harmonious union of some sort, or your relationships are in order, or perhaps your life in general is balanced and harmonious. If the card falls in a negative aspect, personal relationships are out of balance and one-sided. Take a look. Are you giving what you want to get back? Are you blind to something that no longer exists or has changed? The flaming heart of love can be warm and sustaining, or it can burn you up. And before I read the last one, I just want to say, if you can follow around and you can stalk and you can send people like all of the exes and all of these weird people to try to attack me, and you can go to where I get my massage and you can even pull out a card that has your name on it, but you still can't apologize or approach me or do anything. The way that I see it, right? Before we bust out the world or the universe, before we finish on this one, right? The beginning and the ending of it all. What is the point? What is the point? Because feminine is creation, right? The Vesica Pisces is the same as the porthole between the heavens and the earth. Okay, guys? So let's be real here. You send all these people, but nobody ever has anything to say. Can't even give a letter. Nothing. Nothing. That doesn't make sense. Feminine does not chase, she attracts. So, pretty sure she's attracted enough psychopaths that, you know, moving forward, man needs to step it up a notch. Because considering there's been no safety and you've chosen to entertain and work with everybody else that is not safety, there's no safety. There's no safety for feminine to feel there. You can go and put something out where they're going to put my tea, where you're going to make them make me sit, even though it's a different place. It's crazy. Crazy. All this time, even calling me crazy. Kamubuto. Anyways. Shekinah. Okay. This is for adults. And this is a card. This is art. Just like it's cool to see this cherub's butt, even though that's super weird to make children angels. That's weird patriarchal shit. You know, this is life. And y'all got life from this here. So you're going to just deal with it, okay? The name Shekinah is derived from the Hebrew term Shekan, which means to reside. Shekinah is the female manifestation of God. The female manifestation of God. What? The soul, the world, the universe? The world? The female manifestation of God. And y'all want to tell me that this planet isn't female. Come on now. Come on, meow. Come on. Which resides in the world. She is called the bride of the Lord and the angel of the Lord. In alchemy, she is the anima mundi, the alchemical soul of the world, and the quinta essentia, the unifying spiritual essence that holds all things in the cosmos together. All things. The quinta essentia, the unifying spiritual essence that holds all things in the cosmos together. She is also the philosopher's stone, the culmination of the great work. She has also been related to the Holy Spirit. According to Hebrew mystical tradition, Shekinah is God's feminine side. Side, not rib, side in Hebrew. She did not come from man's rib, from one side, feminine side. Stay woke. Stories vary about her fate after the fall of Adam and Eve, also known as what? Lily? Let's go. The Talmud relates that after the fall, she remained behind the Garden of Eden and was enthroned under the tree of life. You don't say. How about that? Her splendor being 65,000 times greater than the sun. This radiance made upon all whom it felt exempt from disease. Another version says that after the fall, she was exiled, and that the purpose of the Torah is to reunite her with God. This would reunite the masculine and the feminine components of the cosmos, including those within humanity. In the Kabbalah, Shekinah is the liberating angel, similar to Michael, and manifests in her masculine aspect as Metatron. The Gnostics equated Shekinah with Sophia. You don't say. Shekinah is enclosed by a Vesica Pisces. Was I not just saying? A mandorla, an almond-shaped areola that is a symbol of the great goddess, the gateway to the mysteries. Shekinah is the goal, the end result of the spiritual journey. Her nudity is a symbol of the uncovered truth she holds, the sword of truth and the power of the flaming heart of love. In the corners are the four creatures, the puto, the eagle, the bull, and the lion, taken from the biblical visions of Ezekiel, which became the symbols of the four evangelists of the New Testament. The puto here is used to represent the figure of a man that is traditionally used as one of the four symbols. These symbols, in turn, are equated with the four elements to their relationships to the fixed signs of the zodiac, as shown in the chart. So, the puto is the Aquarius, the eagle is the Scorpio, the bull is obviously the Taurus, and the lion is obviously the Leo. These are the fixed signs. This is on page 99. We are on the completion. Oh, it shows. Eagle, John, Scorpio, water, soaring flight, lion, Mark, Leo, fire and courage, bull, Luke, Taurus, earth and strength, human, Matthew, Aquarius, air, and can be related to intelligence. Shekinah signals the achievement and culmination of your goals. You have mastered what you set out to master. Your accomplishments has a spiritual component for your experiences, have given you depth and wisdom. You have learned to balance justice and love. You are able to operate on a higher plane of consciousness, for you have a new perspective that enables you to see beyond the material plane. You guys, that is a lot of major arcana, and that is really beautiful. We are going to end it on that because, hey, that is the completion, right? We started with, oops, sorry, I just put them all together. We started with the ending, the death, and the rebirth. And again, we ended as the fool that obtained the knowledge, and we ended with the knowledge and the wisdom and the embodiment of both realms. Death and rebirth, death and rebirth. So, whew, welcome to the new era, kNEW, you guys. Because life is a series of remembrance, and we are going to make it. So let's figure out how we can more properly tell a vision of a beautiful utopian future, and how we are protecting one another and each other. The womb, which is the source of creation, right? Which is what helps to heal, what helps to birth, what helps to nurture and nourish. Nurture nature, heaven, and earth. Guys, as always, I'm sending you guys lots of strength and love. As as always, fuck the patriarchy, matriarchy, meow. And for everybody that's out there learning and doing their inner work, doing their inner study, you are doing great. I am so proud of you. In case nobody told you, you are awesome. You are amazing. You got this. One step at a time, little by little, we will make it there together. Um, yeah, I'm proud of you. If nobody told you, you are on your own, but you are not alone. We are maybe not in the same boat, but we are definitely in the same storm. And this shit storm has already hit the fan, but we're going to be all right because light wins the war, right? We already won this time. It is already set in stone, you guys. That is one thing that is already set in stone. How everything plays out, well, it's still being a little bit left up to however it goes. But keep on keeping on, you know. If nobody told you, you got this, you're doing good. Keep going. You're beautiful. You're amazing. You matter. You're important. You count. And I love you in case nobody told you. You are loved and you matter. Everybody has their own soul purpose and their own mission here. So figure out what yours is. If you guys would like some more insight or clarity, you can schedule a personal session with me. My information is in the information box below. If you would love to support your girl and this channel and me to keep bringing you this information and to keep pumping our world full of positive vibrations, yeah, go ahead and I have a link. Maybe it's not a link, but you can PayPal me at /Zoe. It says down there. The information is in the information box. If you are not ready for a full session, but you have a question or something that you want to ask and you want me to answer live, okay, even though they did try to hack my fucking phone and my PayPal last night, they're trying to get my password. You ain't never gonna get it, never gonna get it, never gonna get it, never gonna get it. But yeah, you can submit the $5 or the €5. I am still doing the reading raffle. I'm giving away 7 readings when we get to 25 participants. Those are 7 25-minute sessions with me. To my lucky winners out there, the information, there is a video for the reading raffle. There should be a link, or you may be able to copy it to get to a link in order to do that down below. And as always, I appreciate your likes, your comments, your subscribes, and your shares. Get this out there. I know they don't let me have the hype button yet. Knock on wood, we're gonna fix that. They don't, whatever, because they can't stop it. They can't stop the information because the people that are sharing the information are on that positive vibration. Yeah. So stay blessed. Sending big love and hugs from the new ruler of Ja Nation. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. Ciao for meow. Zoe out.